Hey everybody, welcome back. It's been about a week this time actually, so yeah, not too bad. And as you can probably tell, I'm a little sick, so I'm a little congested and my nose is like blech. But anyways, I had an idea while I was here vibing, thinking about some stuff over time, and I was like, there's a few things in the game that do kind of need some buffs. Mainly, like, I know the conversations popped up by a lot of people talking about legendary weapons, and I kind of agree. Uh, these things need a nice, hearty, like, well, legendary weapons, I mean, like, primaries in particular, need a pretty hearty buff. And I had an idea about that. So, these funky little things, you know, if you've noticed anyone that does a lot of end game content, when they're confident and they're comfortable in their builds and they know they've got like survivability, they'll tack on 3 of these. Funny little surge mods. I think at this point in the game, because of how many people, at least in end game content, use triple surges, just buff all of the primary weapons in the game by those surge mods. Just have them do that by default. Like, honestly, having them do that by default, I think would be fine. If you need to get rid of the surge mods, buff them a little bit more than what triple surge mods would do, and I think that'd be fine. But they need a whole lot of they need buffs, particularly like the higher the difficulty goes up, the more that these primary weapons fall off. Even the new ones, which are significantly stronger than your bog standard primary of the same weapon type. The lasers are really like, well, the heat weapons are really outpacing them, and they still fall off pretty hard once the difficulty goes up because of the deltas, which honestly making it so that the primary weapons don't adhere to deltas would probably fix a bit of their usefulness in in-game content. But I think they do need a significant buff across the board. Unless, of course, they take that option of removing the deltas from affecting primary weapons, which I feel like might be a bit of a pain, and it might be a little bit easier coding-wise to just buff the hell out of them. Because, like, let's be honest. Normal content, red and orange bar enemies, you're not really gonna care if primary weapons just obliterate the hell out of them. And the same thing goes with, like, specials. Like, if you're doing, like, at-level content, who cares? As long as these things are not, like, completely out of band, I don't think there's a fucking problem. Like, they could do more damage to bosses, too. Like, at-level content, are you really, like, trying to go for super challenging? No, you're not. You're trying to have fucking fun. So who cares? Once things start getting harder, then it makes sense that like most primary weapons wouldn't be an adequate boss damage option. But there's a few that's kind of their shtick is to be a pseudo swap in and or a team full commit option like Outbreak. Like, Outbreak being a team DPS option when you are out of ammo, I think is fine. Like, the only things that I can say is, like, I would honestly give up the infinite ammo if it was a viable DPS option. I would trade the infinite ammo for viable DPS. Because, like, I remember playing in D1 and doing, like, nightfalls and shit solo, and primary weapons became, well, primary weapons were, like, usable DPS. Like, they were a usable damage option. And I kind of miss that. It's something that, like, abilities have kind of taken the forefront again, which, like, it's cool and all, but, you know, you kind of miss the weapons, because there's a lot of cool weapons in the game, and there could be more. Like, you know, if we're gonna get, like, more cool weapons down the line, it'd be nice if they were, you know, usable at all levels instead of just the bog standard levels, you know? But anyways, that's part of the things that I wanted to talk about today. The second thing is two exotics that I put on myself that I'm like, these need some super hardcore reworking to be useful in any way, shape, or form. And I'm gonna start with deterministic here, which just got a rework. But deterministic, we gotta wait for the second one. Does that now. You get a free little reload if you pull off the trigger after the hexadecimal thing goes off. Which, I'm gonna be honest. I don't think that really makes it any better than what it was. Let's see what one mag does. Let's just see, just out of curiosity, what one mag of X. That's 14,000 damage with 600 DPS. I feel like you could probably do something similar with a div and special ammo. As a matter of fact, let me grab a div and see, because one thing you gotta remember is that with either of these options you could really use a you could use an area denial grenade launcher and just kind of, you know, swap to that while you're doing damage. Oh, swap to that. Fire. Well, actually, I've got a thing, so let me do that. Throw a div on here. Wow, this is me not even conserving ammo, and that's like 7,000 damage and almost the same DPS. Like, this doing the same DPS with, like, technically a suboptimal pairing with it. That's kind of sad. Like, see, this is not even me doing the thing to conserve ammo with it. Like, if I was doing the thing to conserve ammo with it, like, my DPS would be significantly lower, yeah. But my total damage would be, like, quite a bit higher. Let me do that, actually. Let's see if I can do it right. So yeah, like, making it last this much longer is kind of like... my DPS goes through the floor, but I keep the bubble up, which, you know, lasts like a whole DPS phase, basically, and I still do the 6,000 damage, but, like... a heavy weapon just barely doing more than a special weapon and providing not quite as big of a benefit, because, like, Div makes precision weapons real good. It's just, why give it the most, like, roundabout reload mechanic ever? Like, why give it this instead of just giving it, like, fourth times or rewind? Like, something that was already, like, in the game and would have fit on this thing a little bit better, but it's like, it's one of the two things about this particular gun that I think could help it. Like, swap its new catalyst thing out for rewind, or even fourth times. Fourth times would probably be better, because ammo from nothing is better than ammo from reserves. However, the main thing I can think of that would help this MG out more than anything is change its archetype to a 600. Make deterministic a 600 RPM, and instantly it becomes decent. Because right now the main thing holding it back is that it is a 360 RPM, which the aforementioned buffing legendary weapons to do by default what 3 surge mods would give them, I think would help a ton. So let me just grab something, because, like, I need to keep my 100 weapon stat here, so let me drop that for a moment, and we'll put triple void surge on, and we'll see. We'll give it a little go here and just see how much of an increase we're talking. We're gonna do it without, and then we're gonna do with 1 mag. We're gonna see just how much we can get done with here. So I'd say that's about, like, solid. So, like, 13.7. 13.7 without surges. 600 DPS. I know I missed a lot of crits, but we're gonna go for, like, a reasonable variance here. Like, 16,000. It's a 16,000. It's a little bit more. Excuse me. Now, comparatively, I'm gonna put on this is a 450, I believe, yeah. It's a 450 RPM machine gun. Just a legendary 450 RPM machine gun. This one doesn't have any... Ah, okay, never mind. This one does have fourth times. So let's just see it. This is a legendary. $688 DPS, slightly less damage. And that's without surges. So, yeah. The thing is, like, why would I use my slot for that? You know? Yeah, let me put bait and switch on here, and we'll try this. Yeah. Yeah. For significantly less effort. Significantly less effort. And this is not even like... This is not even one of the good archetypes of machine gun either. Oh, let me put that back in the thing. And I'll see if I can find a 600 real quick. Oh, yeah, let me... Power weapons. I'll find a 600 real quick. Ba -ba -ba -ba. It's got... Okay, that one doesn't have the roll that I'm looking for. No, fuck it. We'll just use... No, Hammerhead's 452. Ooh, do you have... No, you don't. One of these, I believe, has... I know there's a good 600 that I have. Oh, you know what? Here we go. This works. Pro Memoria is a good option. And this does not... Okay, this does have the backup mag mod on. So let me take backup mag off. So, yeah, this one... The thing is, like, it has... reconstruction and target lock, and I've taken the mod off of this, so it doesn't have anything boosting its damage. This is just a bog standard... Oh, almost a bog standard 600, just with double the mag size and target lock. So... Yeah, I want you to take note of the fact that, it may have double the mag, but 996 DPS from a bog standard, no mod legendary. Yeah, it's not debuffing stuff, but, you know, if you're running around with people that, you know, are used to doing stuff like this, it's a much better option if you're gonna use a machine gun. Like, why tie up your exotic slot? You need to have it, like, be worthwhile, you know? Which, like, if it's not worthwhile, then, like, it's just, it's hard to justify it, you know? So, like, here we go. This is at max efficiency, basically, without, like, fully investing in weapons. Just, like, how little effort this is in comparison. Yeah. For a single weapon, like, almost 1200 DPS is solid for a legendary weapon. Like, 21,000 damage off of one mag. And it's the only damage perk that I have on this thing is target lock. So you can imagine another 600 with more boss-centric damage perks would just be outright better. But yeah, no, like... I am in the camp that fully does believe that it needs a serious rework. And the main thing, like, I do truly believe that deterministic could be good if it was a 600. I think that's the main issue with deterministic, is that it's just the wrong archetype of machine gun. Because Luzaku's, which just came out, is facing the same kind of like negative feedback because it's a terrible machine gun archetype. Like, its niche is cool. It's a support frame, which is very cool, and I think it's very funky. Like, the little threadling hives are cool, but it's a 360 RPM machine gun, so if you're trying to use it like a normal machine gun, it's gonna feel terrible because it's a 360 RPM machine gun, and they just are not worthwhile in the slightest. They might be solid for ad clear, but that's about it. You can't really use it for anything else, and that's kind of depressing. The other thing that I think could use a buff is this. Because, when's the last time you saw someone unironically using Eyes of Tomorrow? See how fast that DPS falls off? Like, this is a heavy weapon. This is a heavy weapon. And its perk's only active when you can get kills. So, like, my idea to bump this thing up to a usable state is, one, give it a catalyst, because it doesn't have one. And for its catalyst, allow its adaptive ordnance to be triggered by hits. It won't give you the ammo back, but if you hit at least 4 rockets from a volley, it should give you adaptive ordnance on the next volley. I think that would honestly fix this for damage situations. Because, like, it's neat having an ad clear rocket launcher that has infinite ammo, but you know they had to do that because this thing was getting 0 usage. Like, in instances where Eyes of Tomorrow was good, you could also just use Wardcliff. Wardcliff does, like, next to nothing to bosses. And you could just use Wardcliff and do the same effect as Eyes of Tomorrow, which is depressing. So, that's... I would say give it a catalyst to do this, if you need to. But, trigger adaptive ordnance by hitting a certain number of rockets from the volley. It could be 4, it could be more, but as long as there is another way to trigger adaptive ordnance, even without refunding the ammunition, if there is a way to trigger adaptive ordnance without any of this, without having to get the kills, because... Let me just grab some rockets and show this again. This is without adaptive ordnance. 2,610 damage. Yeah. 2,610 without. Get our ammo back. Get some enemies here, and we'll get adaptive ordnance set up. Bring back the big guy. 3,918. So see how much, like, it's not even that big of an increase in damage having that active. So it's like, why is there not a way to have it active off of doing standard damage? Like, it would be, because, like, so many other exotics are literally just, you know, they just do. Okay, so we have adaptive ordnance. Let's clear that, bring back the big guy again. And now I'm gonna show you the maximum damage this thing can do without a debuff. Or radiant. 4,776 damage. And now, once the buff falls off... Yeah. With 3 surges, you are doing slightly less. So yeah, 3 surges, you're doing slightly less than having the weapon's signature buff. It's kind of depressing. Because, comparatively here, let me put on Still Hunt. Just to show you all. Comparatively. 7,670 from a special weapon. And, you know, I can just kind of do it again. And do it again. I mean, I have Sniper's Meditation on, yeah, but at the same time, 47,000 damage. Albeit it's getting buffed by Sniper's Meditation, I can take that off. Let me take that off, and I'll do it again. Just a special weapon. Not even playing into what it does best. Look, I'm not even, like, min-maxing what I can do with this. And that's 42,000 damage. Without Sniper's Meditation. Without the solar, without the solar surges. Now, let me put Eyes of Tomorrow on. And we'll see what its total damage is. Heavy weapon, by the way. And also, like, you see how long the travel time and the fire time of this takes? Like, 26,000. We barely passed half of Still Hunt's damage. Total. As a heavy weapon. Against a boss. Why is a special weapon doing more against a boss than a heavy weapon? You know? Why would you use... Why would you use anything other than, like... I'm gonna show you. Like, comparatively, if I grab the ammo for it, we really, really push what we can do here. With the max surges, we really push what we can do here. Without buffs and debuffs. Whoops. Because I missed a crit there. I'm gonna get one more off. 50,000. 50,000 damage. Yeah, no, like, tomorrow's not touching that. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm sitting at right now, is I think the legendary weapons, primaries, but even, like, a handful of the specials should just be buffed by their surge amount, and have the conversation of if you should leave the surges in the game or remove them. Because, like, honestly, I think the weapon damage and stuff needs to go up to contend with abilities right now. Give more variety, give us more options, and, you know, get back to the fun. Give us more build crafting. That's basically it. Also, you know, maybe another super for the stasis and strand subclasses. That'd be really cool too. Just a, you know, just a thought. But anyway, if you've watched this far, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. This one's on the longer side because I rambled a bit, and I hope you enjoy it. Let me know what you thought down below if you watched this far, or if there's some thoughts you have on these ideas. I'd love to hear them. It's just me throwing some ideas at the wall that I think would really help these things. And yeah, thank you so much. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.